Hey, what's up guys? So I'm back with a new video today, and today's video, I'll be talking about something I witnessed a little while back, fairly recently, fairly disgusting. Like, to be quite honest, this actually almost happened to me, specifically, and if this was to happen to me, I don't quite know how I'd react. I think it's the one time I'd actually get angry. You know, if someone does something a little bit annoying to me, I get a little bit salty, I'm not gonna lie, but I don't think I've ever went on like a rampage of breaking my fucking hand in 8 places because I hit the wall so much, because I was that enraged. But this whole situation / story I'm about to tell you guys about was pretty fucking ridiculous, and just, I couldn't believe it when I saw it, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Leave a like if you do, and here it is. So this started as a very normal, awesome night. It was around 2 months ago. I was just hanging out at my house, making a video, and I got a text from one of my friends inviting me to a bonfire he was having. He was having like, I think 8 or 9 people coming over, so it's gonna be a little bit of a big bonfire. And he mentioned something in the text message about something hilarious happening there, something that was just gonna be so funny that I had to come through and see it. And I was like, alright dude, let's do this, right? So I went over to this bonfire. A lot of people were already there. I was pretty much one of the last people to show up. And I hang out with my friends. We're just sitting there. A few people were making s'mores just because they were that bored and they were just, hungry, I guess. And I was just sitting there, literally doing nothing. I was kind of on my phone because it was a little bit awkward because, like, people were talking about stuff I had nothing to do with. So I'm just, like, sitting there trying to, like, laugh along and understand what they're talking about. But a lot of it was, like, inside jokes. But after a little bit of that, one of my friends came up to me and he was like, yo, are you going to smoke with us later? I was like, I don't know, man, maybe. Who's us? And he starts naming all these people at this place. And one of the people there, I'm just going to call him fucking Alex because I don't know what else to call him. Just give him a name. But Alex was someone that, like, just was completely against smoking anything. Like, he would never touch weed, never touch cigarettes, never touch a vape. It just wasn't his thing. So when he said his name and that he was going to be smoking weed with them this night, I was like, there's no way. And I said something. I was like, wait, Alex is going to smoke with you guys? And my friend starts laughing. I was like, why is that funny? I'm like, you guys, like, peer pressure him into it or something? He's like, no, not really. Like, he wants to try it. I was like, dude, go up to him. Tell him he doesn't have to. And if he still wants to try it on his own, then you guys can. But don't make him, like, do something he doesn't want to do. He's like, yeah, you're right, man. You're right. I'll ask him. He's like, do you still want to watch even if you don't want to smoke? I was like, sure. He's like, all right. And he just kind of goes back inside the house. And I guess that was to go talk to Alex or something. I have no idea if he talked to him or not. But the time came where they were all going to smoke. I went out front with them, and Alex was there with them, and he looked a little bit nervous. So I don't know if they talked to him or not about it, but he was still going to try it, so I was just sitting there, like, waiting. And my friend comes up to me and he goes, yo, come inside really quick. And it was one of the friends who, like, had the weed and stuff, and he was going to be smoking with them. So I was wondering why he was asking me to come inside. But he's like, just come on, and he drags me inside. He's like, yo, we're doing something that's going to be hilarious. I was like, all right, what are you going to do? And he whips his iPhone out and he goes on YouTube and he shows me a video that I've seen before. If you guys don't know, you know the rapper MGK? He made this video back in the day with Steve-O, and they did this prank where they basically shaved their pubic hair and put it into a joint, okay? Like, made it look like weed pretty much, and made their friends smoke it. And it was a pretty fucked up prank, and I would never imagine anyone that I know pulling that off. So when my friend showed me this video, I was like, dude, there's no fucking way you guys are doing that. What are you doing? My friend's like, yup, and he pulls this little fucking joint out, and I'm like, dude, you guys are disgusting. I was like, who's even in on this? He's like, oh, just me and this kid. I was like, so you two are gonna prank pretty much everybody at this little bonfire with pube weed. Like, that's just so gross. And he's like, yeah, well, we're just gonna pretend like we don't want to do it and let them smoke it and let the hilarity ensue. I was like, that's not hilarity, that's fucking horrible. And then I realized, I'm like, wait, it's Alex's first time and you guys are gonna do this to him? That's so messed up. He's like, no, he'll think it's so funny. And keep in mind, he was pranking like 60% of his party. Like, everyone at this bonfire was pretty much outside, except like 2 people still sitting in the back. So me and everyone else was pretty much out there, except a couple people that didn't want to smoke. So we go outside, and he tells him, he's like, yeah, I'm not going to be smoking. I did too much today anyway. I'm going to take a little break. And he gives this joint to one of the people, and this kid starts it. He lights it, and he takes a hit. And I just can't even imagine the taste. I don't even want to think about it. But he starts smoking it. No problems. He didn't say, oh, what's that taste? He didn't be like, oh, what's it smell? It's not weed. But no, he just kept smoking it, just passing it along. And it got to the point where it was at my friend Alex, and I was like, yo. And he brings his ear up to me, and I whisper, I'm like, do not touch that fucking joint. I was like, pass it to someone right now. He's like, okay. And he gave the joint to someone else. He's like, why'd you make me do that? I was like, just don't touch that stuff, okay? And one other person was like, why are you whispering to him? And he yelled that out, and everyone saw that I was whispering to this kid. And now everyone's looking at me, and I have to come up with something on the spot to try and save both of our asses and everyone pulling the prank's ass. So I was like, oh, it's his first time, and I just don't want him having a bad experience, so I told him to pass it along. He's starting to have a little bit of an anxiety attack, so I don't want him freaking out on anyone. And everyone's like, oh, okay, and they keep smoking. And I'm like, how the fuck did that work? But they keep smoking, and it gets to the one person who hasn't hit it yet. And he takes one hit and he's like, why does this taste so weird? And my friend smiles and he's like, oh, it's some really good shit, dude. Like, it's got some stuff in there. And the kid's like, wait, what? What's stuff? And everyone kind of starts freaking out because they think that he means like something really hard, like a fucking weird hard drug. And my friend's like, oh, you know, like that good shit. And this guy's like, dude, stop fucking around and just tell us what's inside of it. He's like, you know, like some of that Fuzz OG. And I was like, oh my fucking Fuzz OG. Like anything else would have worked, but Fuzz OG. And he whips his phone out and he starts showing them the original prank. And everyone bugged out immediately. Pretty much everyone ran inside to get drinks because they just found out that they smoked someone else's fucking pubic hair, which is just disgusting. And everyone's freaking out. And my friend's like, dude, you saved my ass. My friend Alex, he's like, you saved my ass. I was like, yeah, buddy, that's kind of why I said that. He's like, I didn't want to smoke in the first place. And I was like, well, glad I could help. And my friend's sitting there dying laughing on the fucking ground. Both of them are sitting there laughing because they're the two idiots that conducted the whole thing. And they're just sitting there laughing their asses off. And everyone comes back out and basically starts kind of kicking the shit out of him. Not like punching him dead in the face, but, you know, hitting him while he's on the ground. And the one guy that basically, you know, busted the whole thing and said that it tasted funny made him get up and give him a free punch to the face. So they got their revenge. Like, he got hit in the fucking face in return for letting everyone smoke his fucking pubic hair, which is just still unbelievable to me. And the funny part is the other kid that also helped, and, you know, there was two that basically made this whole thing, and the other kid didn't have anything done. He just got to sit there and laugh while his friend took the hit. But, I don't know how they didn't notice it sooner. Apparently it had real weed in it too, like mixed in, so it tasted like weed and pubic hair. Ugh, dude. But yeah, really fucking nasty shit, but apparently my friends think they're jackass or something. I have no idea why they thought that'd be a good idea. It's not even a prank at that point. It's like just being horrible. But I thought you guys would enjoy hearing about this because I fucking laugh my ass off every time I talk about this with my friends. So I did hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did enjoy it. And yeah, I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Peace. Alright guys, so with all the recent comments on my videos just saying Luna watches porn and shit like that, I thought I'd bring another little porn-involved story to you guys, so I hope you enjoy this. Doesn't involve me for once this time. Well, it involves me, but doesn't involve me getting extremely embarrassed and roasted and starting a meme in my comment section called Luna watches porn. But anyway, it starts off like this. So I got the opportunity a couple months back to go on a trip with a friend of mine and his cousin, and I've never met his cousin before prior to this. He's like a year younger than I am, and he was fairly cool from what I've heard about him, so I thought it'd be cool to go on this trip with them and, you know, meet him for the first time, hang out with my friend, see a really cool place, and just get out of the house and do something because I remember around this time I was like super bored, no one was around, so I agreed to go with him. It was like a 2-day trip. We were going to go to this place, stay in a hotel for 2 days, and then drive back, and it was only like a 2-hour drive out to the place that we were going to. So I got dropped off at my buddy's house. His cousin and him were there waiting for me. I said hi to them, hung out at his house for a little bit, had breakfast with his family, and then we set off on this trip, right? And on the drive over there, his cousin was actually really, really cool. I was talking to him, getting to know him. Pretty cool kid, right? And after the drive was over, we arrived at the hotel, checked in, went to our room, and we're sitting up there, right? And my friend's cousin pulls this thing out of his bag, and it's like a tiny Bluetooth speaker, and he starts playing music through it. He's like, yeah, I brought this up just if we got bored, want to listen to some music or something, bump it in the room. I was like, oh, good idea, dude. And, you know, he's just playing music, and it was pretty fucking loud for a little Bluetooth speaker. Like, it was pretty little, but the sound that shit could make was loud as fuck. But we're sitting in this hotel room just listening to music and talking, and my friend asked me if I wanted to go out for a walk with him around the hotel, because we didn't really see any of it. Like, we walked in and went to our room immediately. We didn't really see the rest of the hotel. I guess it had like a bunch of stuff in it. So I agreed to go out on the walk with him, and so did this kid's cousin. So we all left the room and we're walking around this hotel, just like looking at the pool. There was like vending machines by the lobby, and we were just kind of looking around. And after getting about halfway through the hotel, my friend's cousin decided to go back to the room because I guess he was getting tired, and we pretty much did see everything we needed to see. We just kept walking at this point just for the fun of it. So my friend's cousin left us and then went back to the room. So it was just me and my friend, right? And we're walking around, literally at this point, just going through the hallways of rooms. There was really nothing else to see. We were just bored. So we're walking around, and we pretty much looped the entire place 2 times, right? So it's been a while since this kid's cousin split from us and went back to our room. So me and my friend are like, you know what, we've been walking around for a while. We've seen this place basically twice now. Let's go back to the room, okay? And we start walking down our hallway. We get back to our hallway. We're walking down it. We're getting up to the room, and we start hearing this sound, this like really, really familiar sound, okay? Everyone knows this sound because pretty much everyone watches it. It's porn, okay? You can hear fucking porn. Not in front of the door either. You could hear this porn blaring in the speaker from like 4 doors down, okay? So we could tell that he was literally watching porn, blaring it through a Bluetooth speaker that he brought, and just didn't give a fuck. So me and my friend are laughing our asses off, but at the same time we're like, damn, he's being super, super loud. Like, we're gonna get kicked out of this hotel if he keeps this shit up. So my friend runs up to the door, bangs on it like 4 times, and the porn just stops. Like, it just straight up stops, and you hear his phone like shut off, like the shutter noise. And I'm like, okay, maybe it's safe to go in, right? So I take the card, I swipe it through the door, and I open it. And there's my friend's cousin sitting on one of our beds, just like completely like frozen with his phone in his hand. And my friend's like, what were you doing, dude? He's like, oh, I was just listening to some music. What are you doing? He's like, you had that music really, really loud. Can you turn it down next time? Because like, we're going to get in trouble. I don't want to have like a noise complaint. And my friend's cousin's like, yeah, I won't have it that loud anymore. My bad, man. And my friend's like, all right, dude, whatever. So the rest of the night went on, right? We just kind of put it past us, didn't want to make it awkward and be like, we knew that was porn. You know what I mean? Like, just make it awkward, because I've had that happen to me, and it's just not a fun thing. So the night went on, the next day came, right? And this day was the whole reason we took the trip. This was the day where we were going to go into the town, sightsee, tour it around, basically shit like that, it's a trip. So we were ready to leave, and my friend's like, all right, you ready, man? And he's like, I don't feel so good. So me and my friend, we're ready to go out, but his cousin just wasn't feeling good. And my friend's like, what's wrong? He's like, oh, I'm sick to my stomach. I have to throw up. And we're like, all right, do you want us to stay? Like, if you don't want us to leave, we'll stay here and make sure you're good. He's like, no, I can handle myself. I'm a big boy. Just go out, go into the town, come back later. I'll be fine. I'm just going to sit this one out. Tomorrow I'll go out with you guys. And we're just like, all right, dude, whatever you say. And we left, right? So we go into the town. We're out there for like 3 hours, okay? And my friend gets this random call from some random number. And he answers it, and they say his name. And it ends up being the hotel that we're staying at, right? So when we get this call, we're freaking out. We think his cousin's in trouble or something. And like that he did something. And they're just like, are you in your room right now? And my friend's like, no, we're in the city. And he's like, yeah, we're hearing noise coming from your room, like a really, really loud noise. And my friend's just like, noise? Like, sir, my cousin's in there alone. He stayed home because he wasn't feeling good. There's no way he could be making that much noise. What's going on, guys? AustinFFA here, or Luna. So I just woke up, and if you guys enjoy this video, and can relate to this video, make sure you comment your experiences below if you have ever had this happen to you. I know a lot of you have definitely had this happen to you, but maybe not in my circumstances. So you're watching some Xbox One gameplay in the background of this commentary. So excited that I finally got an Xbox One. I've been waiting to get one for a very long time. I had one before this, but I gave it to my brother because I'm a good brother. And yeah, I just got another one. I have Advanced Warfare and GTA. I think I'm going to be adding some of you guys. So I look forward to that. But I have this story, and I'm just going to jump right into it. So you guys know, I used to have girls at my house a lot when I would, I just had a lot of friends who were girls. It wasn't even like sex or anything like that. Like, that's fucking stupid. But I just had a lot of girls over that I was friends with. And it's funny because actually some of them were such good friends with me that we could literally have sleepovers and not be like uncomfortable or weird. And yeah, it was really cool. So one day, hold on, I'm moving away from the mic for a minute, but one day, I had my friend over, and she's a really close friend of mine. We hung out since like 6th grade, I think, and we're just really good friends, and we've known each other from middle school to high school. I've helped her through high school, she's helped me, and we're just good friends. And she used to stay at my house a very, very majority of her. I remember like one of the summers that we had, she was literally at my house for like half the summer. So now that that's out of the way, you guys know. So we're very comfortable with each other. She could sleep over, no big deal, and nothing can happen. So I am sitting in my room playing Xbox, waiting for this girl to come over one day. And I think this was more towards, this is right when, that was last summer. This is when this summer was about to start. So before the school year started, before that summer started. So basically last summer. So I'm waiting. It's like a week before summer starts. It's Saturday, and I'm playing it. I think it was, what was it? What game was it? I don't. It's not like it matters, but I think I was playing Grand Theft Auto or something, waiting to just have her come over. I think it was GTA 4. I was playing the old fucking GTA, and I'm sitting here waiting for this girl to come over, and finally I hear my doorbell ring, and I'm like, okay, that's her. I walk over to the door and I answer it, and she's there. And I'm like, hey, how you doing? And we just hung out throughout the whole day. No big deal. Hung out, played Xbox. She plays Xbox. She's a really cute girl too. But she's just a good friend of mine. I don't want to, do anything or date her. So we go to bed, and where my room was at the time was where my old setup was, and I only had one bed in there. And I mean, we were just not even going to bed, honestly. We were just sitting in my room watching movies, and she passed out right next to me. And I didn't know what to do because of the way she was laying. My arm was under her pillow, and I didn't want to move and wake her up. So I was just sitting there watching the rest of this movie. And by the time the movie ended, I passed out, fell asleep. And I'm sitting here sleeping through the whole night, and I wake up the next morning, and she's already awake sitting there. And she looks at me, and she's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe we fell asleep." And I was like, "Yeah, me neither." And then she looks over at me, and I kind of got like this weird look. And I looked down, and I felt it. You guys know what I'm getting to. The morning wood hit me too strong. Morning wood game on point, if that's what you would like to call it. And I'm like, God damn it. If you guys don't know what morning wood is, if there's any girls watching my videos, I know you probably still do, but morning wood is when the male wakes up in the morning and has a massive erection / boner. So that's what morning wood is for anyone who didn't know. I'm sorry if you're too young to hear this, but you guys know what my channel's about. I'm all fucking profanity idiot-wise. So I had a massive morning wood boner, and you can't control it. A lot of males just naturally have this happen to them, and it usually doesn't go away till I either take a piss or I make it go away completely naturally by just sitting there and like not thinking about it, which is annoying. Or you could, give it the knuckle shuffle, but I'm not really about that life right now. So I knew she saw it, and she gave me a really weird look, and I was like, "What's wrong?" And she's like, "Oh, nothing." And then I was like, "Okay." And we went on with our day, like 2 hours go by, and then she cracked a joke about morning wood. And she looked at me, and I think she said something about, "Oh, you were harder than a rock this morning." And I was like, "Oh my God." And I just remember laughing, and we laughed about it. It wasn't even awkward, to be honest. Well, it was. It still is awkward. It's very awkward. But it was just a funny joke between friends. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. If you guys enjoyed the story, make sure you drop a like and add it to your favorites. And if you're new, make sure you hit the subscribe button for more from AustinFFA or Luna. This has been your boy Luna or AustinFFA. Peace out, everyone. I love you guys. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Austin here, or Luna. Now, in today's story, I'm telling you guys about something that I've never really talked about before. So, I might have mentioned this maybe once or twice, but when I was younger, I always thought I was so cool online. Like, for some reason, when I was, like, between the age of probably, like, I'd say 12 and 15, I always wanted to be, like, some cool, like, scary hacker nerd online. I thought that was a cool persona to have, like, a scary hacker. So I acted like I knew shit, and I would talk shit to people online and be like, "Yeah, don't talk shit to me or I'll hack your account." But I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything deep down, okay? And you know what they'd say? I'd get into some Gears of War game, and my voice was, like, higher than Wiz Khalifa, and everyone would make fun of me for it. And I'd tell them to shut the fuck up and stop telling me that they had sex with my mom or else I'd hack them. And they'd be like, "Nah, shut up, I still fucked your mom." And then they'd be like, "What are you going to do about it? You going to hack me?" And then, of course, I was harmless, and I couldn't hack anybody because I had no idea how. And I wasn't about that life, so I just had to sit there and just be shit-talked. So anyway, now that that's over with, okay, on to the story. Around this period where I thought I was like some cool, spooky hacker, I did something that was really fucking stupid when I was like 14, okay? So in middle school, in English class for like 2 weeks, we were up in the library working on a project, and all the project is after we read a book, we had to like try and put ourselves in the character's shoes and like make a slideshow about what we would do if we were that character. So I was up there, and of course, being me, I was dicking around completely and barely working on it. Like, I remember specifically at one point throughout the week, my teacher would walk by and like do a scan of everyone's computer screens, like look at everyone's screen and make sure they're on task. And I waited until she got close to me, and I opened up Microsoft PowerPoint really quick, or whatever the fuck it's called, to make slideshows. And I just pasted the word mayonnaise like 400 times. That way she'd think I was like writing a bunch of stuff and doing my project. And yeah, she walked by and she was like, "Good job, Austin, keep going." And it's just like, how fucking bad are you at your job? Like, literally, you're an English teacher and you didn't even read. So, yeah, I did that a couple times actually in other classes too, and usually it would always work. But anyway, she walked by and thought I was doing my project, and right after she walked away, I just went back to looking on Twitter and just looking at random memes and stuff on the internet, being an idiot. And towards the end of the class, I ended up getting up and going to the bathroom, and I went to the bathroom, took way longer than I needed to because I just didn't want to be in class. And I got back to the library right as the bell was ringing, so people were leaving. So I walk over to my computer, I log it off, I close everything out, and I grab my backpack, and I just basically get all my stuff. And I realize, like, almost everyone's pretty much gone, including the teacher. And she left her computer logged on. Now, the way our computers were set up was students got a student account to sign into, and teachers and staff and stuff got an admin account. And with an admin account, you can access any website you want that's blocked by the school usually for students. You can look at other students' projects and stuff like that. And basically, you could just do whatever the fuck you wanted. So I go over to her computer because pretty much everyone's gone at this point, besides like 2 of my friends. And they start laughing because they see me sit down and they know I'm up to something. And I'm like, hold on, be quiet. And I open her files, and I click on the student drive. And the student drive is where everything is. It's basically just files on files of people's projects and stuff like that they work on the computers. So I open up our classroom's file, and I was looking at all the folders with students' names on it, and it's pretty much all their projects and stuff like that. And I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be a hacker. I'm going to go into all their stuff and put hacked by a fake name and put funny photos all over their projects. So I did. My dumbass literally went through every single student's PowerPoint that we were working on in our class, including my own, even though I had like nothing done. And I put on every single project a bunch of stupid memes, like the most unfunny things you could think of. For example, I put the fucking Doge on people's projects. Like, I just plastered the Doge photo all over it. Yeah, the Doge. You know that meme from like 6 years ago that wasn't really that funny at all? It was just a dog smiling. Don't get me wrong, that dog is dope as shit. But like, that just goes to show how immature I was back then. I thought it was funny to put hacked and put Doges all over people's projects. Yeah, Doge memes. That was my brain when I was 14. But yeah, and that's not even the worst part. I couldn't think of a good fake name to use, like a good hacker name. So I put hacked by the Muffin Man on every single one. The fucking Muffin Man. The Muffin Man. Like, that's not even funny or like cool. How does that sound badass? Yeah, I'm the Muffin Man, bro. I hack people. Yeah, I hack people. I'm the Muffin Man. Like, I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. But I do this, and all my friends are laughing their asses off, and I'm laughing. And I go through everyone's PowerPoint and do it. And I log off, and I just think I'm so cool. Because I'm like, yeah, tomorrow when we come in, and everyone's projects get opened, they're all going to be so confused, including the teacher. Because the teacher had like a sample project she was using that she made herself, and I did that one too. So the next day when she'd have to pull up her like example onto the big TV in the library, everyone would see the Doge and the hacked by the Muffin Man thing. And I just thought I was so funny, right? And like so cool. Even though I literally did no hacking whatsoever. Like, my teacher literally just left on her computer, and I went over to it and opened up people's projects. So yeah, after this, I logged off her computer, and I left and went to my next class, and then I just went on with my day. Then the next day came along, and this is where it gets interesting. I go to the class, English, and I get in first because I want to see everyone's reaction. So I was the first person in the classroom besides my teacher, and that already looks suspicious enough. Like, I was never first to class. I was always either last or like second to last. So I sit down at my station, and I log on, and I just start looking at Twitter, and I'm waiting for people to come in. And my teacher was just situating some papers on the front desk and not even logged on to the computer yet, so she didn't even know yet. And then everyone starts coming in, and she gets on her computer and logs on and pulls up like the example project or whatever and drags it onto the front big TV thing. And immediately I just see the giant Doge head with words under it written in Times New Roman font that says, hacked by the Muffin Man. And she looks so confused and just doesn't say anything. And people start logging on their computers, and they're all seeing it too. And they're all just like, what? Like, what is this on my project? Like, who's the Muffin Man? Why is there a Doge on my front screen? And my teacher deletes the Doge photo off her example project, and she deletes the text, and she leaves it up on the screen how it was before. And she yells out to the class. She's like, guys, this isn't funny. Did any of you guys do this? And no one says anything. And I'm just sitting there with that smirk on my face. I'm like, yeah, I'm so badass. Like, totally trolled her. And then she just goes, well, okay, maybe none of you did do it, but we'll figure it out. Just continue working on your projects, delete anything out of the ordinary that wasn't there before. And yeah, everyone just continues on their projects and deletes the photos of the Doges and the text, and everything was pretty much back to normal. And I'm just sitting there smirking like, yeah, I totally showed them. Like, I'm so badass. That was so cool. And my friends were laughing too. But deep down, I kind of knew. Like, I'm a total fucking dork for that. Like, that was not funny at all. I literally put some corny ass meme on people's projects and they just deleted it with one hit of the key and no one even cared. But this story picks up, don't worry. I know some of you might be sitting there thinking like, what is this story? Like, this isn't even funny, dude. Come on. Like, Doge memes? Oh, give it a minute. Just wait. It gets better. So, after this, the day went on pretty normal. I ended up going home, played some Xbox, fell asleep early. And then the next day came along, okay? And when I walked into school, I went to my first period. And I sat down, and immediately I hear the announcements come on and call me up to the office. And I knew I was fucked. I was like, great. I got caught. There's no way they're calling me up to the office for anything other than catching me for messing with people's projects the other day. And I was like, oh no, oh no. So I go up there to the office. I walk in, I check in, and I'm waiting. And my principal comes out, and she's like, hey, Austin, come into my office. And I follow her in, and I see my teacher there, my English teacher. And my principal sits down, and they're both just looking at me. And I'm like, okay, yep, I'm fucked. Like, I'm fucked. Now I really know I'm fucked. So I sit down, and my teacher looks at me, and she's like, Austin, what'd you do yesterday? And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, no, come on, don't play dumb. Like, we know what you did. We looked over the library security cameras today, and we saw you go in there and go on my computer and alter students' projects. I was like, okay, look, I'm sorry. I thought it'd be a funny joke. It wasn't. I'm sorry. And the principal was just like, yeah, well, we don't take that lightly here. So you have 2 days of ISS now. And what ISS is just in-school suspension. So for the next 2 days, I'd have to go to a room and just sit there the whole day until the bell rang. So from start to finish, I just have to sit in detention, basically. So I was like, oh, okay, that's fair. And she's like, all right, go there now. So I went and started my first day. And it was the most unlucky fucking thing in my life. Because not only did I just try and, like, be some fucking cool guy that pulled a prank on all the students, and it failed. But then something else happened. It was like the unluckiest day of my life. So I go to the ISS room after this, and the ISS room is literally just like straight up just all the bad kids in one room with one security guard. And like obviously some people in there aren't bad, but like a lot of the times the kids that are in ISS are kids that get like into fights or caught smoking, you know, things that are worth getting put in suspension for. But for me, I honestly thought they went a little too hard. I thought maybe 1 day would be better, but 2. But whatever, I was like, fuck it, I'll just do it. So I went to ISS, I sit down in the back of the room, and these 2 kids get walked in right after me that were just caught in the bathroom about to fight. And I don't know how they caught them. I guess they like went in there with a bunch of people, and one of the staff members saw it, and they were suspicious because a bunch of people were going into one bathroom, and they called security. So these 2 kids come in right next to each other who were just about to fight each other. So clearly they don't like each other. So I don't know why my school thought it was a good idea to put them in the same fucking room. But they sit them down in desks that are almost right next to each other. And the whole like first hour of being there, they're staring at each other. Like they're just staring at each other and mouthing like words to each other that don't seem nice. And I'm just like, oh, is there about to be a fight? Like, is there really about to be a fight? Like, I really hope so, because this room is boring as fuck. And sure enough, after like an hour and a half, my wish was fucking granted. One of the kids yelled out at the other one, was like, yo, stop fucking staring at me. And the dude he said that to stood up and was just like, I'm staring at you because I can't figure out why you're so fucking ugly. And then the other dude stands up and goes to walk over to him and get in his face. And the security guard tries to stand up and stop this. And of course, the one security guard that's in the room with us to like make sure everything's under control is like a 5-foot old lady who's only good for patrolling the hallways and handing out hall passes. So you damn well know if 2 teenage boys get into a fight, this lady is not going to be able to stop it. So they get in each other's faces and they start screaming at each other and talking shit and starting to push each other. And the lady goes over there and tries to stop it, but because she's like way shorter than them and just like not as strong, she can't really like split them up. And then sure enough, one of them swings and the fight just breaks out and they start beating on each other. And the lady's trying to stop it, but it's just failing and she can't stop it. So I stand up and I'm like, all right, what the fuck? Like, what is going on right now? And this girl that was in ISS with me, she stood up too and she's like, I'm out of here. And she opens the door and walks out just in the middle of everything going on. And I'm like, wow, she really just dipped on this whole situation. So I go to run over to the door and open it and like yell out for help, for like a teacher to come help and try and stop this. And as I was going over to the door, one of the guys ran at the other one and tried to tackle him. And they both were like kind of hugging each other and like moving really quick. And they bumped into me and fucking sent me flying down over a chair. And it hurt so bad. Like, imagine getting your shins smashed into a chair and then tripping over the chair and landing on your shoulder. It hurt so fucking bad. And I'm like, dude. And I got up and I fucking threw a chair at one of them. So I was so pissed. And I was just like, dude, fuck these kids. So I walked out of the room and I was like, you know what? Fuck this. Like, I do not deserve to be in a room with that kind of shit going on. But of course I'm not going to ditch that lady in there, that security guard that was dealing with that. Like, I felt bad for her still, so I yelled out for some help. I got a teacher across the hallway to come and help, and he went in there and helped break up the fight. And he was like an actual, like, pretty big dude, and he was fairly young, and he was able to stop that shit real quick and got in the middle of them. But after that, I didn't return. I was like, fuck that. The security guard was like, hey, sir, you have to come back in here. Like, you're an ISS. And I was like, no. Like, fuck that. She's like, you can't just leave. And I was like, no, I'm leaving. And she's like, you can't. And I was like, no, watch me. And I went downstairs and I went out one of the front doors. I was like, I'm not dealing with that. Like, call my parents, call whoever you want, tell them what I did. Like, I don't fucking care. That is not cool. I'm not about to sit in a room where motherfuckers are beating on each other and sending me over chairs and shit. Like, I'm not doing it. So anyway, I walked out of school, went to this place across the street, got a burger, ate lunch. And sure enough, my mom calls me and she starts freaking out, wondering where I am. She told me that the school called her and told her that I left school. And they also called her earlier in the day and told her that I was suspended for what I did. So this was like the second call of the day she got from them. So she was really mad at me. And I pretty much just told her everything that happened. I was like, yeah, I was in the suspension room. A fight broke out between these two guys and I got knocked over in the middle of it. And I got angry and I left. And she's like, all right, I'll be right there. And she drove over to where I was getting food. She picked me up and then brought me right back to the school and sat down in the principal's office with me and my principal and had a meeting with us. And she wanted to know everything that happened. So my principal told her, she's like, yeah, he got in trouble. We put him in ISS. And while he was there, a fight broke out and we took care of it. Our security had it very under control. And then your son decided to be careless and just throw a chair and add to the situation and then storm out. And I was like, okay, look. You're lying right now, because first of all, you didn't have it under control. You had a lady in there who was not fit for the situation at all. She could not stop this fight, and you had two muscular dudes fighting who were much more powerful than her. So you didn't have it under control. And also, why would you put two dudes who don't like each other and we're going to fight in the first place in the same room? Like, how brain dead is whoever made that decision? And she's like, I don't really like your attitude right now. And I was like, I don't care. I don't like the fact that you guys got me hurt. And I don't like that you're lying right now because you completely left out the part of the story where the guy ran at the other guy and tried to knock him over and I got knocked over. So now please explain to my mom that part of the story that you left out. And she's like, okay, look, Austin did get knocked over, but he seems okay. And it still wasn't right of him to throw the chair. And my mom went like full teacher on these people because my mom used to be like a tutor and like a teacher for the schools. So like she knows how the system works and like how everything should run. And she's like, yeah, you're right. My son throwing the chair is very immature and I don't agree with that at all. But this could have all been avoided. Like, why would you put two students who were fighting in the same room and think that would fix it? Especially in an understaffed room. Like, that's highly unprofessional and I blame you guys for all this happening. And the principal just does the whole, I understand your frustration, but at the end of the day, all the students broke rules and they will all be punished for it. And my mom's like, okay, what do you have in mind? And she's like, I think your son should have 2 more days of suspension. In school, that is. And my mom's just like, how about you make it out of school instead? And the principal's like, what do you mean? And she's like, because I'm not going to take my son in to have him sit in a room again where he feels not safe and where he's learning practically nothing. Like, if you're going to put kids in a room for the whole 6-hour day to punish them, teach them things while you're at it. This is a school. Do your jobs. If you're going to make my son sit in a room for 6 hours and do nothing and be at risk of another fight breaking out, I'd rather have him at home playing his video games or something. And that's when my face lit up. I was like, oh, I'll stay home and play video games. Like, fuck yeah. Like, I didn't say that, but I was thinking it. And the principal was just like so lost for words. And she's just like, okay, I think we could just do 1 day. And then my mom's like, no, like either out of school or let him just go back to classes because I'm not going to have him sit here and waste his time. And my principal was just like, okay, fine. 1 day out of school suspension will be Austin's punishment. And my mom's like, great. That's perfect. And the meeting was pretty much over. We went home. The next day I didn't go to school because I was suspended. And I stayed home the whole day playing Halo 3 custom games. And it was a lot of fun. And it was really cool, my mom, to understand that, like, it was a pretty shitty situation for me. Like, yeah, it was wrong of me to get angry and, like, throw a chair out of anger. But, like, it's also pretty bullshit that I got, like, purposely thrown into the equation because, like, these dudes just have no aware of their surroundings and decided to start fighting in the middle of the classroom. But that's pretty much the end of the story. A very, very long story. This might be one of my longest story videos on this channel. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please leave a like on this video if you guys enjoyed this story and you want longer story videos. And yeah, guys, I'll see you guys all later. Peace.
Hey, this that 1-800, I don't give a fuck about you. Please get off my line, there is no one to talk to. I'm doing just fine, I'll have my people call you. Hold up, never mind, we gon' press that dial. Used to hold my tongue, not French kiss bitches and I know they sprung. T-Pain with the dreads and the cursed and dunce. I mean she borderline racist but her head on point, I can't help that she like niggas.
So I apologize for this video going up so late. I just don't seem to wake up. I don't know. But today's video is a story from back in 9th grade when I was a freshman. It was like the first month of high school for me. And every time I tell this story to either a friend or just like anybody, I laugh so hard because of like what we did. And this is funny, so I hope you enjoy it. I hope you laugh. Leave a like if you do, and let's get into it. So in 9th grade, we were introduced to a class called health class. Now, I'm sure you all know what health is. It's when you know, sit down in a room and talk about genitals, smoking pot, smoking cigarettes, and heroin. It's a great fucking class. 10 out of 10 class. It helped me so much. You put condoms on bananas. It's great. It's really great. I'm just fucking around. But yeah, it's a class based around health. I'm sure you all have had it. I'm sure you all know what it is. But yeah, we went in there, okay, and we used to watch movies every fucking day in this class. The teacher must have just been, like, really, really lazy, and she was like, I don't want to fucking teach my class today. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to bring in, like, 20 movies. We'll watch those through the month. Easy peasy. Like, I swear that's what she would do. I remember there was one day where we walked in, and we literally didn't watch anything related to health. We watched the fucking Lion King. Now, I'm not complaining. I mean, this was fucking dope. We used to watch movies every day. We didn't even have to do any work. But I'm not even going to lie. We wouldn't even watch the movies. We would just talk and kill time on our phones and shit. But there came a time where we got so bored that we thought of this, like, fucking evil plan that we wanted to pull on this teacher, okay? Well, on the whole class, basically. The teacher kept on the front of the room like a big shelf of just movies and shit, and she would pick from it every day, and we would watch movies about either health or just random shit. So one of the DVD cases was white. It was white, it had nothing written on it, and inside was some random fucking movie that was about like cigarettes or something. It was just like a normal DVD like disc. It was like completely blank. It was burned off her computer. So my friend takes it and he goes, yo, what if I take this home with me and we switch the discs with something funny? And I was like, fuck yeah, dude, that sounds hilarious. What do you want to put in there? He's like, what if I put 2 Girls, 1 Cup on there? I was like, dude, don't fucking burn 2 Girls, 1 Cup onto a school film and then have her play it for the class. That's like fucked up beyond a level that I thought you could even think of. He's like, come on, just let me make it something dirty. I was like, you know what, dude? Go home, pick whatever fucking video you want, just don't make me a part of this. I'm just gonna sit there and laugh like the rest of the class, okay? So a couple days go by, my friend comes in, we have health class, alright? My friend comes in with the DVD, and on the front of this case, this white case, there's written on it, smoking. Just smoking in black marker, and I was like, dude, why would you write that on it? He's like, it's all part of the plan, bro, it's all part of the plan. So he runs up to the front, and he places the DVD in with all the other ones, and I told him, I was like, well, what'd you put on there? He's like, just wait till she picks the movie. So it took like 2 weeks. No joke. We went through so many fucking movies. We literally thought she was never even going to pick the DVD. But finally the day came where she picked it. She picked the movie. She opened it. She put it in the player. We were so hyped. We were like, oh, this is going to be it. She's going to see what's on this. I'm going to see what's on this. I didn't even know what he put on there. So I was like, all right, this is about to be fucked. This is going to be hilarious. So my friend like legit edited like a 30-minute film. And I don't even know why he had this much time on his hands, but it started with a black screen. And this like white font came up, this like text. And it said, how to have sex. And then at the bottom in parentheses, it said 101. I was like, oh no. Like, I was already laughing. I'm not gonna lie. I was already just, like, completely laughing my ass off. I had my shirt over my face, just dying. And the teacher actually started walking to that side of the room to shut the DVD off already because she kind of got the idea that, you know, this isn't about cigarettes. But it straight up went from like 0 to fucking 5 billion in a second. She went over to the room and take the DVD out, and right after that how to have sex text thing came up, it just cuts right into these 2 people fucking. And my friend literally maxed the audio out. I don't know if you've ever seen this video. I'm sure you have on the, like, there's a lot of people that make these like ear rapey videos on Twitter. But it's this dude fucking a girl, and he's like screaming. No joke, this dude is fucking this girl, and he's straight screaming, being so loud, and my friend maxed the audio out. So the whole class, and I'm sure the entire hallway outside, could just fucking hear this amplified, loud fucking orgasm. The whole class was dying laughing at this point, and the teacher shut the DVD off immediately after this started, and she turned the lights on and was like, I'm so sorry everyone, I have no idea how that got there. And everyone's dying laughing. I felt kind of bad, honestly, because the whole class thought that it was her DVD or some shit. But the whole rest of the class, we just watched YouTube videos because it was so awkward, you know. After you show porn to your class, there's really no coming back from that. But this was probably one of the funniest fucking things I've ever seen, especially in 9th grade. Like, back then in school, that was one of the funniest things I've ever done. And I wouldn't recommend doing that. And I'm a fucking idiot, so yeah. But yeah, in the end, no one actually got in trouble. She didn't even try and, like, pursue the dude that did it or even try and find out who did it. She just kind of, for some reason, thought that it just magically teleported there and was played for the class. I don't fucking get that. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did enjoy, leave a like, and I'll tell some more funny stories like this one. And, yeah, guys, I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Austin here, or Luna, and in today's story time, I'm telling you about one of the most fucked up hackers I've ever ran into, okay? I've ran into a lot of hackers, but a few months back, this guy really fucked me up for a bit, okay? So, a few months back, I'm hanging out with some friends online, just playing some CSGO, and I get into this game, okay? And I'm against the other team, obviously, and we're playing competitive, and I don't really talk shit much, but when someone provokes me, I get really toxic, and of course, this fucking kid on the enemy team, with his stupid name, I don't even want to say his name, because you guys might go look him up, but he had this really, really, like, ironic name, and this stupid meme is his photo. It's like, hey, Luna, your YouTube videos fucking suck. And usually I just laugh at shit like this, and I did at first. I laughed, and I replied, and I'm like, yeah, man, his videos are trash. And he's like, yeah, you're Luna, your videos are trash. And I was trying to, like, play a joke. He's just like, no, like, seriously, like, you fucking suck. And I was like, yeah, you're right. Just not let him win, okay? So I decided to take the higher approach, and I blocked communications with this guy on Steam, so that way when he types in the chat, I won't see it. So I blocked communications, and he's typing away, and my friends keep telling me that he's talking mad shit, but I don't see it. I'm just playing CS, trying to get the win. And I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of fucking him up on CSGO. Like, I was going pretty hard. And every time our team would win a round, he would just talk so much shit in the chat. And I could see that because my friends would reply to him, but I didn't see his, like, provoking. So anyway, like, 5 more rounds go by, and all of a sudden my friend goes, yo, Luna, like, you might want to talk to this kid. And I was like, why? What's he doing? He's like, dude, he's dropping your address and shit in the chat. And I'm like, wait, what? How the fuck does he have my address? Like, what? So I unblocked communications with him, and sure enough, he's just putting all my personal information in the CSGO chat. And his entire team of friends is laughing because he's just putting all my info in and using it against me. And then he goes, Luna, man, you might want to add me on Steam so this doesn't get out there. Like, add me, let's talk. I'm like, oh, fuck. So I add him. I'm like, all right, man, what's up? And he's just like, yeah, dude, so, I want $1,000. And I started laughing. Like, I literally said, haha. Like, I'm like, fuck you. Like, I'm not going to do that. He's like, okay, I'm just going to post this everywhere then, and then swat you, and then order a bunch of pizza to your house, and then maybe I'll order a bunch of sex toys to your house, maybe I'll steal your identity and buy a bunch of shit with your name on it. And I'm like, dude, just stop being a fucking dick. Like, I didn't do anything to you. I'm not talking shit to you. Can you just leave me alone? Like, please. And he's just like, nah, I don't want to. I want $1,000 first, then I'll leave you alone. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Fuck this dude. So that's when I'm just like, all right, you know what? He's going to do shit anyway. Fuck this guy. I'm going to have some fun with it. So I reply to him, and I'm like, yo, dude, so, like, do you ever get bored of, like, only finding attention that you didn't get from your parents online by harassing random YouTubers and streamers? And he's just like, yeah, shut the fuck up, dude. Like, at least my parents aren't dead, blah, blah, blah. Like, just trying to piss me off. And my parents are very much alive, okay? So this guy was making no sense. And I was like, homie, I get it. Like, the only attention your ass got was from the back of a belt from your father. Like, chill out. I know you had a bad childhood. That's why you're doing this. Like, relax. Like, I was trying to cut him deep because, like, he's going to try and come at my life and fuck with my family and shit. I'm going to go at him. And he's just like, I don't fucking get beat, blah, blah, blah. Like, you're going to fucking get beat when I swat you and blah, blah, blah. And just all this shit. And I was like, you know what? Fuck you. And I block him on Steam because I don't want to deal with it. Sure enough, like 30 minutes later, I get a knock on my door. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I answer the door, and it's the same cop that comes, like, every time. He's like, what's up, Austin? I'm like, hey, man, how you doing? He's like, yeah, we got another call at the station about you. We just wanted to come down and make sure you're okay. Because the police know me. Like, they do know me. Like, this has happened more than a couple times. So they definitely know my name. They know what I do, that I'm a streamer and a YouTuber, and that people try and play pranks on me. So they never really come, like, full force anymore because they usually know it's almost always a prank. So he sees me, sees that I'm okay, sees that it was a prank. I say hi to him, talk to him for a little bit. He asked me how my brother was doing because he knew my brother from school. And he's like, all right, man, like, have a good day. He turns around, walks away. I go back downstairs, and I just continued my night playing CSGO with my friends online. And yeah, I got 1 pizza sent to my house that night afterwards, but it was no big deal. I ended up just not paying for it and told the guy it was a prank. He understood. And that was pretty much my night, right? So the next day comes along. I think it's over. I think that's the rest of it. Like, nothing else is going to happen. Of course, I get something else at my door, and it's another pizza. I'm like, oh, fuck. Didn't pay for that one because I just didn't want to pay for a bunch of pizza I didn't order. And I thought that was the end of it, okay? But then later that day, I get a call on the phone from some random number in the West Coast. And I answer the phone, and I'm like, hey, what's up? And they're just like, hey, is this Austin? I was like, yeah. And they're like, oh, hello, like, I'm so-and-so from Las Vegas, rentals, just calling to confirm your order. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, you ordered a Mustang. And I was like, what? She's like, yeah. And I was like, no, I didn't. She was telling me that someone called with a credit card opened in my name and rented a fucking Mustang for the weekend, like in Las Vegas, a car, rented it in my name. And I'm like, look, someone's pulling a prank on me. They're stealing my identity or some shit. Like, don't ever rent anything to this name again. Like, seriously, I did not order a fucking car. Don't give it to anyone. If someone comes to pick it up, don't. Like, if they do get their name, like their actual name, and give it to me, and I'll call the police, like, I think they're not gonna, because it's just a prank, and they probably live on the other side of the country. But just don't fucking take any more calls from anyone pretending to be me, okay? And she's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Like, I'll cancel this right away. I was like, thank you so much. So I hang up with her, and then I call my bank to make sure this guy didn't fucking find a way into my bank account and steal all my money. And luckily he didn't. He didn't find a way to get in my bank. And they said there were no new cards opened up in my name either, like no new credit cards or anything. So that was good. So I don't know what card he used, but I guess it had my name, or I guess he used my name for the order. But I thought that was the end of it. And then later that night, I go to lay down, and I'm like, fuck, it's been an eventful day, but you know what? I'm glad I got it situated. Everything's done now. I get a knock on my door, and answer the door, and it's just some random girl. And I know this by now. Like, I know how it goes. I could tell the minute I opened the door. I was like, what's up? And she's like, hey, are you Austin? And I was like, yeah, but I'm guessing the person you talked to on the phone wasn't me, because I didn't make any calls tonight. Like, probably guessing Backpage, right? Backpage.com. And she's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, yeah, I know what's going on here. So I'm guessing you're like a, like an entertainer or like a dancer. I didn't order anything. I didn't order any services. Like, ignore that call. I'm so sorry for wasting your time. It really wasn't me that made that call. And she was pissed. And sure enough, she turned around and just got back in her car. And as she was driving, of course, she throws me the fucking finger, acting like I made a call and pranked her or something. But it wasn't my fault. So at this point, I've been swatted, attempted identity theft to rent a car, and a stripper was sent to my home. At least I think it was a stripper. It was some girl from Backpage, so I'm guessing that's what it was. And that had happened before, so I knew it. And at this point, I'm like, all right, you know what? This guy can just throw anything else my way. I'm prepared for anything at this point. Like, fuck this dude. So I lay down in bed, and I'm just expecting the worst at this point. I'm expecting at any given moment someone to knock on my door, and I open the door, and it's just the police again, or like another stripper, or this time a fucking giant buff male stripper. You know, I don't fucking know. Like, maybe he'd start having fun with it. But luckily, I went through that night. Nothing happened. The next night, nothing happened. The night after that, nothing. And then the night after that, I was like, okay, finally, it's over with. Sure enough, knock on my door, and I'm like, oh my fucking, like, it's flowers, like literally a bouquet of flowers. And my friends who were with me start freaking out, because I had friends over at the time. I'm like, okay, like, who's this from? I thought it was from a girl. I honestly thought, like, at first a girl sent me flowers, and I was like, wow, this is some like role reversal stuff, you know what I mean? Usually it's the guy sending the girl flowers. So I take a little note off the side of these roses, and it goes, I had such a fun night last night, Austin. Like, you were truly the most careful, gentle man I've ever met. Can't wait for date number 2. Love, John. And the minute I read that, I'm like, oh, here we go. Like, this guy is too fucking good at what he does. Like, this troll, he really got roses sent to me because he knew people would be at my house, whether it was like my parents or my friends or somebody, and they would see that and be like, oh, Austin, like, who are you getting these for? Like, what girl sent you these? And they'd read the note and be like, what the fuck? He went on a date with someone named John? Like, Austin, are you not telling us something? Like, he was really trying to get at me and, like, just troll the fuck out of me and get people to think that I was, like, in the closet or something. So after reading this, I just, like, look up at my friends and I'm like, look, I could try and explain this right now, but I know you guys are just gonna fucking just troll me and just go along with it no matter how much proof I give you that this is a troll. So just go at it. And my friends start cracking jokes like, Austin, man, it's fucking 2018. Like, come on, you can come out. Like, you can tell us. And they're just trying to troll me. And this is exactly what the hacker wanted. Like, he wanted to send some troll roses and make me look gay, which, not that there's any problem with being gay. I'm just not. And he wanted me to, like, look like that so that my friends could be like, Austin, come on, man, just tell us. Like, it's not wrong. And, like, he just wanted me to be like, what the fuck? Like, just confused. So I ended up just kind of laughing at the troll the guy did on me because, honestly, that's a pretty good troll. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't really harm me. It's a good prank. It's not as fucked up as identity theft or trying to swat me or ordering pizza to my house. Like, it's definitely a funny troll. And I kind of just took the jokes that my friends threw my way, and they're like, come on, Austin, just come out of the closet, man. Like, it's no big deal. I felt like I was in that South Park episode. And, of course, then I had to call my mom up, and I tell her about it, and she's dying laughing because she knew someone would do that. Like, she knew one day I'd probably find a fan or someone online that knows about my channel that would just troll me enough to do something like that. So she was laughing pretty hard about it. And after that, I pretty much just took the note off the roses and gave them to my friend so he could take them home to his girlfriend. Because, like, I don't really need roses. Like, I don't need them. And that was pretty much where it ended. That was the last thing the guy did. I did get a couple more pizzas ordered to my house like a few months later, but I don't think it was the same person. But yeah, Definitely the most like trolling, clever hacker I've ever had an experience with. If you guys enjoyed this story, please leave a like on the video. I would really appreciate it. Leave your stories in the comments down below. Subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you guys all later. Peace. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Austin here, or Luna. So I'm sorry if you've been expecting part 2 recently to the stalker video, but that will be tomorrow. I promise. I just haven't uploaded it because my camera fucking broke and I had to go get a new one. And I'm going to get the other one fixed tonight. So I will have it up by tomorrow. I promise. Just got to do some editing stuff. But in the meantime, I have a really funny, crazy story for you guys today. I hope you enjoy it. Leave a like if you do. And let's get into this. So like 3 years ago, I had this friend. Let's just call him Jake. Jake really liked airsoft guns, going and playing airsoft at like a course or whatever, like those fucking professional airsoft places where you can go and play with a bunch of people. He would go there. He would do it with his friends all the time, like all that type of shit. He loved it. I would play sometimes, but for the most part, I didn't really like it just because, like, I don't know. I just didn't really find that much of an interest in it, and it kind of fucking stung when it would hit me in certain areas. Call me a pussy, whatever. But me and him went to Walmart a few years back, and he wanted to buy a new airsoft gun. So he was looking at them, and they were all locked up in like this cage thing, like behind a window. And one of them was outside of it on the shelf. Like, I don't know, someone must have opened it and took it out, like one of the employees or something, and forgot to put it back after showing someone. And my friend realizes this, and he picks up the box, and he starts reading it. And he realizes it's a really cool one, and he's like, oh, dude, I want to see it. Like, I want to buy this one. I was like, all right, then get it. And he's just like, hold on, I want to see it first. And he starts opening it, and he takes it out. And I'm like, dude, what are you fucking doing? Because, like, it's a horrible idea. Because, of course, it's one that looks like a real gun. And he takes it out, and he's holding it, and he's fucking pulling the clip out of the bottom of it. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? And he's like, hold on. And he starts grabbing BBs off the shelf and opening them. I'm like, dude, you can't shoot an airsoft gun in here. Like, we're in a store. Like, buy it, and then we can shoot it outside somewhere where it's safe and, you know, not around people. He's just like, no, dude, I'm not going to shoot it. And he loads it up, and sure enough, he fucking shoots a BB at the ground just to see how it shoots or something. I was like, dude, stop. So then he starts unloading the clip of the BBs back into their container, and then he puts the empty clip back in the airsoft gun, and some employee walks by and sees the fucking airsoft gun in his hand, and of course it looks like a real gun, so he thinks it's a real gun, and he wasn't too far from the actual gun aisle itself where they sold like the hunting rifles and shit. Okay, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said aisle. It's like a counter where they keep them locked up behind the counter, and there's someone always there. But I don't know, maybe he thought it was like an actual gun or something. But this employee sees my friend, and he immediately runs over, grabs the fucking airsoft gun out of his hand, and takes my friend down, and starts holding him down with his knees on him. And he's like, help, someone help, call 911, call 911. And another employee runs over, dials 911, fucking starts helping, holding my friend down. My friend's like, guys, get the fuck off me. Like, it's not real, it's not real. It's from the store, it's from the store. And they're just like, we don't give a fuck, you can't be opening our stuff. You can't be messing around with that stuff in here. And a cop comes. So a police officer ends up showing up, and they let my friend up, and the cop starts talking to me and my friend. Not really so much me, because I really wasn't involved. Like, I wasn't saying to open it. I was telling him not to, and I did say that to all of them, and they believed me. And my friend was explaining, he's just like, look, it was not a real gun. It was just an airsoft gun. I wanted to see it more, so I opened it before I bought it. And the police officer was like, you can't do that, because regardless, you're not supposed to be doing that with any item in this store. Like, anything. You're not supposed to open stuff until you buy it. And he's like, yeah, I know, I'm sorry. And he's like, seriously, like, you scared people. That could have gone way worse. Like, seriously, you're really lucky that it went the way it did, because it could have been a lot worse. And he's like, yeah, I know, I'm sorry. And in the end, my friend didn't get arrested, luckily. He didn't even get banned from the store. Just in the end, he ended up having to pay for the airsoft gun. But he wanted to buy it anyway, so it didn't really matter. Like, he opened it because he wanted to buy it. And I guess after everything that happened, he still wanted to buy it, and he bought it. And, yeah, I don't know, he probably still has it to this day. But I guess the moral of the story is, guys, if something that's supposed to be locked up isn't locked up and just sitting there, don't mess with it. Don't touch it. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much the end of this story time. If you like this story, please leave a like on the video. I would really appreciate it. Leave your guys' stories in the comments down below. I'll have the vlog part 2 of the stalker video tomorrow. And yeah, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys all later. Peace. So on today's video, I'm telling a story about someone, or actually a group of people. I'm back on talking about those fucked up people I used to hang out with. And I'm pretty chill when it comes to hanging out with people. I don't have falling outs a lot, and when I do, it's over like really fucked up stuff. Like, to have a falling out with me, you have to make pancakes and put live lizard in them. Like, you have to be fucked up. I'm just fucking around, of course, but seriously, to have like a falling out with me, usually it has to be something over really messed up. And I had this friend, and we're just gonna call him Jack, okay? Jack was a very nice person for the first like year of knowing him. And then Jack got mixed up with the wrong crowd, you could say, and he started doing worse and worse things day by day. And it got to the point where he was stealing shit, and not just from like stores, but from me. And that's when we had like the falling out. He came over to my house. He stole like a $100 pair of headphones. I didn't notice it till like 2 weeks later. We talked. He completely owned up to it, but didn't say sorry. And then we stopped talking for a little bit. And then Jack came back to me, okay? And this all happened about 6 months ago. He came back to me and he texted me. He's like, yo, can you call me? And I called Jack, and he just gives me this long, just heartfelt apology about how I'm such a good friend of his and he doesn't want to lose me as a friend. And I was like, you know what, dude? Whatever. It's done. Water under the bridge. Sure, we'll be friends again, right? He's like, all right, awesome, man. Next time we hang out, I'll give you the $100 for the headphones that I took. And I was like, all right, man, awesome. So at this point, I'm like, oh, we're friends again. Whatever. I won't trust him that much anymore, but he's still a friend, right? And we make plans. He offers to come pick me up with some of his friends that I've seen before. And a few of their names, when I hear them, it just rings a bell of just like, that's kind of a sketchy person, but I've never seen them do anything myself, so maybe I'm just getting the wrong image, you know what I mean? But I said okay. They came to my house, picked me up, I got in, it was me, and just a full car of awkwardness, because I've never hung out with these people before. The only person I knew was my friend, and we just got over like a fight, so it was super awkward, and we're driving around, and I just learned that these kids were basically like the thugs of my town. And I felt so weird like in a car with them because they were talking about like really fucked up shit. And like one of them mentioned at one point that they had plans to like go and jump this kid next week or something. And it was so weird. I was like, dude, I'm not liking this. Like I kind of want to fucking go home. But I was already in this car. I was in the back seat between all of them. And I was getting these weird looks and shit. Like I just got this really eerie like scared feeling. And I was like, this is fucking terrible. And the worst part was I couldn't say anything. I couldn't be like, hey, I'm very, very weirded out by all of you. Take me home, please. Because first of all, it's a bunch of fucking creepy ass dudes that would probably kick the shit out of me if I said that to them. Second of all, that's just more awkward than it already was. I didn't want to make it more awkward. So I just went with it. We're driving. I had no idea where we were going. I thought they were just going to like burn ride for a little bit and then we'd find something to do. And we just eventually drove so far that we got to the city. And at this point, I got really weirded out because we were pretty far out. I had no idea why we were this far out. And just there was nothing for us to do out here, basically. And then it got to the point where we were literally pulling into neighborhoods and shit. Like really fucked up neighborhoods. And just going into these random streets, like turn after turn. And I finally got so weirded out where I was like, hey, where are we going? And my friend, the one that I ended up falling out with, I don't even remember the name I gave him. I think I said Jack. He's like, hey, we're just going to a friend's house. Don't worry. I was like, all right, dude, cool. And we finally started slowing down. And I just knew what was happening. We started slowing down in an abandoned ass, like, I don't even know the word for it. It's like a circle street. I think it's called cul-de-sac. It's basically an abandoned little neighborhood. There's like 2 or 3 houses on it that are just really fucked up and they're pretty much closed down. And it's almost completely surrounded by a bunch of trees. And it's just pretty much that place where you would go to either 1, do a drug deal, or 2, kick the living shit out of someone and have no one see it because it's so abandoned over there. And my dumbass should have just stayed home, been a nerd and played some Xbox, but instead I decided to go out with these fucking people, and they were going for number 2. The whole plan was lure Austin into the car, drive him out to the city, beat the fuck out of him, leave him in the street, and drive away. That was literally their plan, apparently. I'm guessing robbing Luna was a part of that, too. But we stopped in the middle of the street. They fucking jumped out of the car. Everyone jumped out except me. I'm sitting there in the middle of the back seat like, hey, this isn't someone's friend's house. And I just knew what was happening. And this kid goes, get out. One of the random kids that I'd never even talked to before. He's like, get out. And I was like, what are you guys doing? He's like, just get out, dude. Come on. And like the situation itself, I really couldn't do shit. Like straight up, I was like, I'm surrounded. I'm outnumbered. I can't call someone. I can't even jump in the front seat to try and drive this kid's car away from them because he pulled the keys out. So I was like, all right, well, guess I'm going to get my ass kicked. So I jumped out of the car and I like looked at my friend and he's like, yeah, I'm not giving you that money back. And I just threw on this fake smile. I was like, yeah, I figured, man, if it's coming to this. And he's like, all right, so what are you going to do about it? He starts coming close to me, right? He's like kind of getting up in my face and all of his friends start to surround me too. Like they're all about to just completely go at me. And I was like, I don't know, man. What do you want me to do about it? Like just trying to stall. I was like asking him questions and shit. I was like, you know what? If I'm going to get fucked up, I'm at least going to just buy time so it's not as bad. And he's like, fight me about it. And I was like, fight you or fight you and your entire fucking crew? Because kind of how it's looking right now. He's like, I don't know. And he just starts getting real close. Like at this point, they're just completely surrounding me. And I was like, here it goes. Just literally preparing to get my ass kicked. And all of a sudden I hear a car horn go off, right outside of this crowd of people. I couldn't see anything. I was surrounded by these fucking people. But I heard a car horn go off. And everyone just dispersed immediately, and I was freed from this fucking stupid crowd of kids that were about to kick the shit out of me. And I see this old fucking dude sitting in the middle of the road, just like looking at us with this confused ass look through his windshield of his car, alone. And these fucking wannabe thugs got terrified of an old man for beeping his horn at them, and they all jumped back in their fucking car and peeled off, leaving me in the middle of this road, just looking at this old guy in his car. And they drove away because they were scared, and I'm just sitting there, and I walk up to this guy's car, he rolls down the window, and I was like, hey, I don't know what was about to just happen, but you saved me from it. And he was like, yeah, I was driving by, and through the trees I could see the whole crowd of people, what was going on? And I was like, I think they were about to beat me up, like, straight up. He's like, do you have a cell phone on you? And I was like, yeah, I do. He's like, all right, call a ride, I'll stay here until they get here. I'm sorry that had to happen to you. And this fucking legend, his name was Paul. Paul is a fucking legend. Sat there and waited till one of my homies came and he got me, and we jumped in the car, and he's like, here, take my phone number. Have a good night, guys. You guys seem like great kids. And he drove off, and like, he just completely saved me from getting my ass kicked by a bunch of these, like, I don't know what to fucking call them. I'm gonna call them tooth fairies. Fucking tooth fairies. From jumping me pretty much, because they were fucking afraid of this dude. This dude was alone in his car. Older guy. It just saved me. But yeah, I got home, told my fucking friends and parents about it. They all wanted me to escalate it to something bigger, but I was just happy my eyes weren't fucking completely blue and black, and that I didn't look like I just got hit by a fucking rock, so that's a good thing. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much the end. I thought it was a fucking crazy experience. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did, and just be careful about who you guys hang out with, alright? Just don't be a Luna and trust people too quickly, especially after they fucking stole from you. It's an idiot move. But anyway, guys, I'll see you all tomorrow. Subscribe if you're new. Peace out.